Okay, back on our panhead here. So we're going to go ahead and fix these all these holes here. Let's get to do some helicoiling. So just about every one of these is bad. The ones that aren't circled bad, it's probably they already got a helicoil in them. And a couple of those need to be redone too because they're poking out the backside and coming out. And the bolt don't go in the hole. So that's a problem. And of course that's exactly what I forgot to bring over, the bolt to go in there. Oh well. Alright, so I got a couple different kits here. This one here looks like one I bought recently. It's got a winder in it. So the winder goes like this and winds the helicoil in. And it looks like it's got a tap connected to it here. Let's see if that's actually what we have here. Appears to be a tap. It's all marked in red for some reason. Almost like they were trying to use it for a regular tap and found out it was different. Or it's bad. Says helicoil 1024. It doesn't fit. It's a good sign. Got a bunch of inserts. So when the inserts are red, they're locking style, which means they have a little pinch helicoil in the middle. So it's a locking insert. So here's a generic kit. Bought many years ago. Regular helicoils are silver. More locking ones in here. It's hard to see in there, but if you look in there, there's a little flat spot in there. There's usually one helicoil that's been pinched in. It's hard to see it on this one. See how the driver screws in, catches the tang there, so it pushes it in. This one here is a winder. Wind it out. There it goes. So this has the same tip right here on the end of it as the other one. Drop it in there. Put that on the tip. Shove it in. Tighten it up. It threads it through the hole that's already that size. So this collapses the helicoil down. Helicoil is just a big spring. So it collapses it down. So it makes it really easy to go in the hole because it's already collapsed that size. Otherwise you have to get the helicoil to start the hole by squeezing down the first thread. Then it jams in. But it can also go in sideways and be a problem, which would be a bad thing. Now, I had a screw in here yesterday I was using, but I don't see it. So we need a screw that's the correct size. So let's go find ourselves a screw real quick. I think I left it out because I didn't see it. Nope. Looks like that one right there, the dirty one. That's the one I was using. Alright. So now, you put your screw in your hole. If it goes all the way through like that, it's stripped. When you go in the hole, thread, most all the way and it still wobbles like this much, that means the threads are pretty haggard. Which means when you put pressure on them, they start coming apart. See how loose they get the further out you come? A good thread does not move hardly at all. So that was not too good. So we're going to be doing all of these. Oop. Okay, first thing I want to get this one out of here. Over here. So they make a special tool for doing that, which I don't have for this size. All you gotta do is grab a hold of the helicoil right here, right there, and just rotate. It'll come right out. You know, if you just give it a big yank, it might pull the threads out with it. It'll definitely do damage to the threads. So if you just wind it out, it does no real damage to anything. It only takes just a little bit longer. Comes right out, no problem. Boom. Helicoils work by having this thread here dig into aluminum or whatever material it's in. That stops from moving because it's a big spring. Got a sharp edge, it digs in like a lock washer and quits screwing, so the insert will stay in. That's how they work. If they don't work like that, you have a problem. Okay, now these holes are full of silicone. So I'm going to take a tap here. Go ahead and run it through again. I don't know why it's cutting. All kinds of black goo coming up. It's being a pissed off tap, I don't want to go through. So there's what come out of the hole. A little bit of aluminum and a lot of crap. Pull this out. We got a good hole now. Alright, be back. Alright, we're back again. Okay, now when you put a helicoil in it, you want to make sure that you have at least one turn, most likely on both sides, for it to dig in good. Half a turn minimum. So when you put your helicoil on there, make sure there's enough length width there, you're okay. If it's too much length, then you cut it off. So, and these do grow when you put them in, so they get longer because they collapse, so they unwind themselves. This one's going to be close, so I might have to cut it, but we're going to try it. Now you can just run it straight through if it's not right, so it's no big deal. So that one's in right now. So you can see how the helicoil is above the surface on this side, so it's not deep enough yet. And you can see how we got at least one full turn on this side, so we're not too far yet. So we're going to go at least a half a turn to get to zero. Ideally I want to go about 3/4 of the way around, which is going to be close on the other side. Where's my other winder at? Tool. Okay, this one threads in, so I like this one better. So this one I just slips in, I don't have to thread it on. Okay, so you look at the top. There's half a turn. Looks like we're still on good metal. So the helicoil ends right here. It's basically flush. Now if the helicoil is not below the surface, it puts a real high spot right here when you tighten down, and the part gets tight on that one spot, not the whole surface. So you have to go below the surface. So there's a 1/4 of a turn more. That way when it pulls on the thread, it pulls evenly. Okay, now it's done over there. That looks like about the minimum. A little bit more would help. Let's see what our side over here looks like. You gotta remember the helicoil is going to break right here. So you can see a full thread there, so I can go another 1/4 of a turn on this side without a problem. Just make sure that's what I want to do over here. Yeah. Let's go 1/8 of a turn. Okay, looks like I got a good Good amount there. Looks like it's below the surface. There's my thread right there. Looking for where it was at. So you can see how we're down the hole there a little ways, so we should be good. So now all you gotta do is take a, excuse me, you take like a screwdriver and you push it on the inside of the helicoil and you knock it free. Knock the pity off. So a helicoil, if you look closely, you have the base of the helicoil going around this way, and if you look, there's a little flat spot right there. That's where it's going to fracture. So when you push on it, you want to push right on this corner right here as best you can to knock it. If you get over here on the tang on the length way out here, then it's going to tend to bend it and not crack it. You go over here, it cracks it clean off. And when you only got one thread or less hole in it, it doesn't hurt to go from the other side like this and just beat it to the inside. Plus my screwdriver's a little bit on the fat side. So we're just going to hit it right like this right here in this corner, pop it, and it should come right off. You want to make sure you find your tang so you know it's not anywhere that's going to be damaged. Doesn't want to pop. I'm fracturing it from the wrong side. Yeah, looks like it half popped. Go the other direction. So there's a little tang right there. Make sure you put that somewhere and get rid of it. Scrap bin over there. And that one's done. You want to make sure you did no damage. You look at this side, and if it's nice and clean in there, no damage. The helicoil is where it belongs in the thread. If the helicoil pushes up and jumps the thread, you can push it back with a screwdriver back in its thread. It should be fine. Where's my little screw at? Okay, so now we take our little screw here. It should go right in with no problem. Except this is a locking one, so it's tight right off the bat. Goes until it gets tight and it stops. Okay, so now I have to have a little Allen wrench to turn this to get it to go all the way through. So, what do we got in little Allen wrenches around here? Okay. So normally it's just going by hand, but with a locking one it's a little harder. So it's coming out the other side right now. No problem. I don't usually like put Loctite on a lot of helicoils. You can, but it's not something I just don't do it. So there you go. Goes in and out, doesn't hurt to screw any. It's got a locking action, and it's in there good. Okay, that's that one. This one here is not feeling very good. Won't go any further than that. It's not happy at all. I can feel it grinding a little bit as it's going in. See how it's tearing up the thread a little bit. So I don't know what's going on with that one. It looks okay, but it's definitely not a happy camper. This is not a locking helicoil. It should not be tight like this. This thing's really tight. Something's not done right, but trying to get a helicoil out of a hole is not easy. So, a lot of times these are more damaged than good. So, if the bolt actually goes in the hole without damaging it too much, you leave it. So you can see how it's turning nice and it's taking all the coating off of it. So it doesn't like going in that hole, but it is going in. Alright, so we're going to leave it. This one just has a bunch of silicone on it. It's going in relatively clean. Should be good. Let's go over here, you might be able to see better. My hand is blocking the view. Okay. See how much clearance it has, not too bad. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so those ones are good. So that one's still kind of crappy, but trying to get that out of there is going to be really, really rough. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now I think this one here, got a helicoil on this one maybe too. I'm not sure. Nice and loose. Nope, that is a regular hole. It's just a really loose hole. See how it pushes across the first couple threads there? And these are bad. Alright, so I'm going to helicoil that one, 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 that one. There you go. 2, 4, 6, 8. And I did one there, 9. There you go. 8 out of 12 would be new. One's going to be used. One they already did. It's only 2 here left that are, these 3 here are the only ones that are left that don't have to work on. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and set up to helicoil these. Alright, let me get set up, we'll be back.